Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to install Tailwind CSS version 4 into your React app. So on my screen, I have a basic React app created with Vite. If I open my terminal and I run the command npm run dev, you would see in the browser that we have a basic React app. This project currently does not have Tailwind CSS installed, and I'm going to walk you through how to install the latest version of Tailwind CSS into your project. The very first step would be to open a new tab in our browser and search for Tailwind CSS. On the search page, we would click on the installation link and it will take us to the documentation that guides us on how to install Tailwind CSS version 4 into our project. We can know it's version 4 from the tab right here, so version 4 is selected. Under the installation heading, make sure your active tab is the Using Vite tab. So this will provide the guide on how to install Tailwind in our project. The very first step would be to run this command in our terminal. So let's quickly copy the command, and back in VS Code we would paste that command into our terminal and we'll hit enter. Now once Tailwind is done installing, we'll head back into the browser and continue with our guide. The second step is to configure Tailwind CSS in our vite.config file. So in the second step, we'll make sure that we add these blue marked lines of code into our vite.config file. So back in VS Code, we will locate our vite.config.js file, and the first thing would be to import Tailwind into it. Let's simply copy this line of code here and back inside our VS Code, we would paste it like that. Once we have imported Tailwind CSS into our vite.config file, we would head into the plugins array, and after our React, we would add Tailwind CSS like this. Now with these two lines of code, we have successfully added Tailwind CSS into our vite.config file. The next step would be to import Tailwind into our CSS files. The best place to import this would be in our SRC folder and inside our index.css folder. This is because the index.css file affects our entire application. So the first step we'll do is to clear every default styling, and we'll simply paste our import rule there. Now we have successfully added Tailwind.css to our project. We can now go ahead and simply write some classes with Tailwind CSS, and we would see the effect in our browser. To do that, let's first of all clear our default app.js and let's create a new one. Inside this div here, let's render an h1 and we'll say Tailwind CSS version 4. Now we'll simply provide the class name, and let's make the text 5XL. Beautiful. Back in our browser, when we look into our file, we would see that this has affected our heading. Now, having our app side by side with our IDE, we can see that if we make any changes, it would reflect in our Tailwind CSS. If it is not reflecting, you should first of all head back into your terminal and close the current application, right? And rerun npm run dev, and it would start working. So when we refresh that, we would see that it's working as well. Now, a very cool feature to have if you don't already have it is to install the Tailwind IntelliSense file. So let's do this Tailwind CSS IntelliSense file and you install it. However, it is not working because we don't have a Tailwind config file. So we will simply create one, tailwind.config.js file, just like that. And now when we head back into our app.js and we try writing any styles, we would see that it is working. We are getting options, right? So let's say we want to change the text color to red. We would get the options quickly. Very well. And as well, if it's still not working for you, I think you should check your Node version or your npm version and upgrade them to the latest. And that is how to install Tailwind CSS version 4 into your React project. As always, subscribe for more valuable content, and I'll see you in the next video.